Hello everybody. In this little video I'm going to show you how to put in the one-wire mod that is needed for my S-Video adapters working off the CoCo3's RGB port, and this will also be used on an upcoming VGA adapter. I'll open this up and explain to you the purpose of the one-wire mod. Now, keyboard out of here. As you look at the CoCo3's RGB port, it's a 10-pin connector right here, and this particular pin right here, pin 10, is not used for anything. It is wired to one of the PIAs. I believe it was intended to be used as a monitor sense connection that could let the computer know that it had a RGB monitor attached. But it appears like, looking at schematics for the monitor and just talking to people, that it was never really ever used. And so what we have is an unused connector, or pin, that we can use on our connection here to put this wire in. Now the reason we need this wire is to get the GIME clock out to our board, because in order to do a good video mod of any kind off that port that actually converts the video to something else, you really need a perfectly synced clock. Instead of trying to sync up an external clock through adjusting phase and this kind of thing, that's always difficult to get it perfectly synced. Because the GIME is generating the video pixels based on the clock that it's using, which comes from this crystal circuit here and feeds the GIME. And in order for us to basically be able to hit each of those pixels perfectly, we need access to this clock. So we're going to use this wire to tap the clock circuit here and bring it over to pin 10, where it can go out to our video mods. So the GIME uses a very standard Pierce type oscillator for its crystal to get the clock out. Let's see if I can kind of adjust this around here. And where we need to tap it is at the output of the clock circuit, which is also the input to the GIME, and that is right here on this end of R63. So we need to connect one end of the wire here, and I'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully you'll be able to kind of see what's happening here. So we'll take our soldering iron, and we just want to add a little bit of solder to the end there to make this easier to attach. Not too much, just a little dab like that. If you can see it there. And in the kit, when you get the adapter, you'll get one of these pieces of wire that has been cut to the right length and pre-tinned. And just to make it easy, and the way that it'll work best for this, I'm just going to get a tiny bit of solder on the end of my iron here. And we'll get in here, and the best way I've found to route this is right here. We get her connected like that. Very simple. As you can tell, I am not really set up too well for this, but as far as the camera. But so here we go. Now we got our wire coming out of there. It routes very nicely across the top of that resistor. Just kind of bend it in place. It'll come right over to where pin 10 is here. And I definitely recommend putting a little bit of fresh solder on that. Just to get a little flux in there, really. And these are pre-tinned, so just get it into a good position and connect that sucker. And that'll do it. And you can just kind of push it down in place. Now that's all there is to getting the wire in there. Now our clock signal's going over to there. Now on this monitor sense circuit that they had, there are 2 resistors on the line that goes to one of the PIAs over here. And these, one of them is in series with the connection to the PIA, and the other one is a pull-up that's used on this line. And we don't want those interfering with what we're doing with the clock. So I'd recommend that these be clipped, and that is our 61 and 62. And the ends that you want to clip them on are right here. Now of course that would be very easy to put another resistor back in there if you ever wanted to bring it back to where it was. But like I said, it was never used. They're not really needed. Now there's nothing on that connection to pin 10 except for our clock tap. And that's it. Now the wire is installed, and the only thing left to do is to put it back together and plug in our video mod, and we'll check that out in just a minute. Okay, so now I've got the computer back out in another room where we have a display, and one of the other things besides that little bit of patch wire for doing the clock, in the kit you'll also get a ribbon cable and a power adapter. And this is the board itself, which has S-video here, composite there, the RGB cable goes in here, power here. Now it's very important to only use a 5-volt supply with this. Anything greater than that and you run the risk of blowing the encoder chip. There's no voltage over protection on it, so only 5 volts DC for this board. Now the ribbon cable itself is 10 pins on each end. One end is keyed, and that is the end that will go into the converter board here. The other end is not keyed, plugs into the bottom of the CoCo3 in this orientation right here. just simply going back towards the back of the case. Okay. I'm going to flip this back over here and connect our board. And you can route it however you want it on the back side of your computer there, or make a nice case or something, who knows. But so then we hook in our other end of the ribbon cable, and we're going to need our composite connection. Would go right there. And here's my S-video cable, which plugs in right there like that. And then this is 5-volt power. 5 volts only. And then let's pop in an SDC. So we'll have something to run on this. And so we'll go ahead and fire it up here. And there we go. We have our SDC Explorer screen. And some room for this thing here. Now that's with the composite color set. So the Explorer screen with the RGB set would look like this. And let's just go to a color chart and see all our colors. Now this is S-video. And let's see if it'll pick them all up here. Cameras don't do a very good job of picking up the colors, but maybe you can see it. They're all there. So those would be the NTSC equivalents of whatever's coming out of the RGB port. And that's it. That's how you install the board. And I guess that's about all of it for now. Thanks for watching.